Are you kidding me? The Kenpom bracket went a perfect 8-0 in the Sweet 16. We definitely deserve some fireworks here. This means that the full Kenpom bracket has all 8 teams in the Elite 8. If you checked out my video on Selection Sunday and followed the full Kenpom bracket, then you have all 8 teams, a perfect Elite 8 in your brackets, and you're doing very well. And the icing on top of this cake, check this out. On Wednesday night before the Sweet 16 started, I put out the Kenpom score predictions. Look at this third row here. Michigan State, 73-70 over Mississippi. That is an exact score based on the Kenpom predictions. If we look at the first 3 rounds so far, the Kenpom bracket went 27-5 in round 1, 11-5 in round 2, and again, a perfect 8-0 in the Sweet 16. Now, if you're thinking this is just picking the chalk, let me just show you something here. The Kenpom model is 46-10, 82% correct. If you just pick the highest seed, that's 44-12. So the tournament is very chalky this year, and that actually makes the Kenpom model look better. However, the Kenpom model did pick 12-seeded Colorado State over Memphis in round 1 and Baylor over Mississippi State. So it's doing better than just picking the highest seed. And I just want to make a comment here about the chalk. Now, I know a lot of people don't like to see all this chalk, and they think, well, that's just an easy thing to predict. Well, I disagree for several reasons. Let me give you my reasons here. Number 1, we don't often have this much chalk in these tournaments. So to actually predict the chalk correctly means we're doing something special here. It's not just simply picking the 1 seeds. So the fact that this much chalk is not very common, that means that this chalk is not actually chalky at all. I think that makes sense. The second reason, we're actually using the Kenpom stats in the Kenpom prediction formula. If you look at the stats, the Kenpom stats, the number 1 seeds had net ratings around 35 or better, and all their opponents in the Sweet 16 had net ratings in the mid-20s. And I think this played out in the Sweet 16 games where all the number 1 seeds took over and willed their way to victory. We also have the 2 seeds, Alabama and Tennessee, which also have very high net ratings. So that's really the top 6 teams. So picking all the number 1 seeds and the 2 seeds, Alabama and Tennessee, was very much supported by the Kenpom stats and the Kenpom prediction formula. So it's not really just about picking the top seeds here. It's really about looking at the data, the analytics, the advanced stats, and that's what guided us to making these picks. Now, I put all my brackets on ESPN Bracket Challenge, and here is the full Kenpom bracket as of Saturday, March 29th. It is currently in the 99th percentile, 252,000 rank. There's over 25 million brackets in this bracket challenge, so that's a really good ranking here. 810 points total, 1770 max, and we have Duke winning in the full Kenpom bracket. Now, I also put out before the Sweet 16 the second chance tournament, and the full Kenpom bracket, check this out, is perfect, 100% perfect for the Sweet 16. So I got all 8 of those games correct, ranked number 1. We have a perfect bracket after the Sweet 16 in the second chance bracket challenge. And if all the best teams win according to the Kenpom stats, then we might have a perfect bracket for the second chance bracket challenge. Wow. Okay, let's get into our picks for the Elite 8. We always start off with the seed analysis. So the seed analysis for Elite 8 is actually pretty simple. We only have 2 seed pairs, the 1v2 and the 1v3. Check this out. Since 2001, only 44% of the 1 seeds have beaten the 2 seeds. The 2 seeds have the upper hand in the Elite 8 since 2001. So this is all of the matchups in the Elite 8 except for the Florida game. And the 1 versus the 3, the 1 seed has won 63% of the time since 2001. So obviously the teams in Elite 8 are much better teams and their matchups here are much tighter. Let's see what our Kenpom prediction formula says about the scores for each of these games. Here are the Kenpom stats as of Saturday, March 29th. And here we go. The top 8 teams are listed right here. These 30 net ratings and above, this is what we're focusing on, are very strong teams, 35 and above for all the number 1 seeds. Again, it's not about the chalk. It's about the fact that these top 4 teams are very, very strong teams. Here are the Kenpom score predictions for the Elite 8. The first game is Florida versus Texas Tech. Kenpom prediction score says Florida 82-76 for Texas Tech. This is our first game on Saturday. We have Duke over Alabama, 88-83. Now, I realize that Alabama just had a historic game, 25 threes made, 51 threes put up against BYU. But Duke's a different story here. And it's very unlikely, in my opinion, that kind of efficiency, that kind of shooting is going to continue into the Elite 8. On Sunday, we have Houston over Tennessee, 61-59. It's a 57% chance to win for Houston. Houston and Tennessee are 2 of the top 3 teams in the defensive rating in the Kenpom stats. So this is predicted to be a much slower paced game with only 58 possessions per team and Houston winning 61-59. Then finally, we have Auburn against Michigan State. Auburn 76-71 over Michigan State. I want to mention here again on the Kenpom stats, Florida better offensive rating, better defensive rating than Texas Tech. That definitely indicates that Florida is a better team here. Duke, a better offensive rating than Alabama. I know that sounds crazy considering how awesome Alabama was in the Sweet 16, but they also have a better defense. So again, better offense, better defense. Let's go with Duke. Houston, a better offensive rating than Tennessee and a better defensive rating than Tennessee, even though these are top 3 teams here. And then finally, Auburn, a better offensive rating and a slightly worse defensive rating than Michigan State. But again, all 4 number 1 seeds are better on offense, and all of them but Auburn are better on defense than their opponents in Elite 8. This means that the 4 number 1 seeds look very strong, even in Elite 8, to move on to the Final Four. I just want to highlight the score predictions here. I probably won't have time to put out my best bets video on Saturday, March 29th, but you can use these score predictions to form your bets. Let's look at how the Final Four is going to unfold according to the Kenpom stats. Again, we have Duke over Houston, 57% to 43%. Florida over Auburn, 53% to 47%. That's actually slightly better in Florida's favor. So we have Duke against Florida in championship game, and Duke 56% to 44% over Florida. Duke is a national champion according to our Kenpom prediction formula. Hope you enjoyed this video. Now, I certainly don't expect to go perfect 4-0 in the Elite 8, but if we do, and this happens, and all 4 number 1 seeds get to the Final Four, I'll definitely get back on here and talk about it. Regardless of what happens in Elite 8 this weekend, I'll update the Kenpom stats and put out the Kenpom predictions on Monday for the Final Four. I'm really looking forward to the games this weekend. Good luck in your bracket picks and good luck in your best bets. Let's go!